So it was a beautiful July morning. One might say picture perfect July morning. I was going into work. The roads were glistening from the beautiful rain that we'd had the night before. I was about 10 minutes away from a meeting that was starting in 9 minutes, but for me, that was pretty good. So I was happy with that. When all of a sudden there was noise from all around me in my minivan, which honestly I had bought as a new cell phone accessory that I had not yet managed to learn all the functions of. So there was noise coming from all around me. I could see on my console that it was one of my partners, Shanti, calling me. I'm the manager. I get these calls in the morning sometimes. It's okay. I hit a button. Now her voice is coming from all around me. And she said, I've been in an accident. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And now I need her voice to not come from all around me. I need it to come from one place. And so I push another button and I hang up on her. Oh my gosh. So thankfully she calls back. While I'm pulling over, I stop. I don't touch anything. She said, I've been in an accident. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What do you need? Are you stuck? Do you need me to come get you? She said, no, I wasn't in a car. I was running with Christy and a car hit us. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, are you okay? She said, I don't know. I haven't stood up yet. I'm like, oh my God. I said, is Christy okay? And she said, I don't know. I can't see her. Oh my God. And I said, why are you calling me? And she said, I'm on call. My beeper's going off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can manage that. Did you? She said, wait, here comes the ambulance. I got to go. Sen's meeting me at the hospital. Sen's her fiance. And then my car is very quiet. What am I going to do? Okay. There's work to be done at the hospital. I'm going to go to the hospital. I've mastered a few functions now. I'm not coming to the meeting, move my morning clinic, going to the hospital. I call a couple of my partners who I know can help, and I go to the hospital. I get to the hospital. There's this very long hallway that goes from the parking garage to the doctor's lounge, which is not really a lounge. It's a workspace. There's nobody lounging there, especially this week. There's nobody lounging there. And I'm walking down this hallway, and then from the loudspeakers, trauma alert. It's them coming in ambulances. And suddenly this is very real. And there is this physical pressure on my shoulders as I'm walking in this hallway. And I realized that if I had been a heroine in a Victorian novel at this point with a corset and skirts, iron deficient from 4 children, I go down. I would have gone down and I would be taken to my bed. I would be fed laudanum and I would be out of this for the rest of the time. But more efficiently clad, nutritionally replete. I don't go down, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do something. It's too early for the sign-up genius to bring them dinner. We don't even know how they are. I got to do something. I know I'm a doctor. I could go to the emergency room and I can figure out what's going on. So if you guys are not doctors, even you know, that is a terrible idea. You do not want somebody who knows them in the trauma bay when they're there. It's a terrible idea. Don't go to the trauma bay. I want to go to the trauma bay. Go to the doctor's lounge. Go to the doctor's lounge. I go to the doctor's lounge. I walk in the doctor's lounge. There's nobody there. Of course, there's nobody there. I got nobody I can kind of transfer this panic that I'm having onto. And okay, I'm going to call my husband. He's at home today. I go in the corner. I call him, but that was okay, except for it didn't calm me down to be telling him the story because he's excited about this story too. And I'm a sobber and now I'm sobbing. And so now I'm sitting in the corner of the doctor's lounge where people are supposed to be working, although there's nobody there, and I start sobbing. And of course, as soon as I start sobbing, multiple people walk into the doctor's lounge where I'm sobbing. So I'm very clever and I put the phone closer to me and I crouch down and I turn towards the wall because of course then they won't see me that I'm sobbing in the corners of the doctor's lounge. And we finish our conversation. We strike upon something that I don't know how Christy is, and I don't know if anyone is meeting her at the emergency room. So that is something useful I could do. I can get a hold of Christy's husband and I can make sure that he knows what's going on and he's going to be there to meet her at the emergency room. Great. Hang up with Dave. I turn around. There's only one doctor left. And I start to explain and he's like, I heard. And I was like, oh, how did he hear? So we get together. I don't have his number. He doesn't have his number. We find someone who has his number. I call him. I think I'm being clever. And I'm like, so you spoke to her, which by I mean, and she's conscious. And so she's alive. And he's like, yeah, I spoke to her. And I'm like, great. Awesome. Okay. Get off the phone with him. At this point, another doctor arrives. She's come from the emergency room. She's seen them. Oh my God. She's seen them. They are banged up. They're okay. They're going to be okay. She has Shanti's beeper, which she was with her one arm that wasn't in a sling trying to answer. She gives me the beeper. My partners start to show up. And you know what? And they really showed up. They showed up. They did the work for that day. They did the work for the call for the rest of the week. She was out, recovered, 6 weeks, leave recovery, lots of extra patients to take care of, got taken care of, everything got done. And I, as the manager, have had the privilege over the last 12 years to see them show up a lot. When things needed to be done that were big, when things that were small that needed to get done. So life is not picture perfect. Only on Instagram is life picture perfect. I suspect for all of us, the last 21 months have presented multiple opportunities where you were hoping somebody was going to show up. And I hope that even if they didn't answer your call effectively on the first time, people showed up for you, because life is not picture perfect. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Lancaster Story Slam for continuing through a really long period and continuing to do it safely. We have a very devoted healthcare service in Lancaster County, but people, we are tired. Please stay safe. Thank you.